Hello, navigators. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another insightful conversation. Thank you for trusting us with your time and your emotions and development. We're here to have another conversation, and as you know, I never sit alone, and neither do I ever converse alone. I am here once more with our very bright Noluntu. How are you, Noluntu?
I am well, thank you. Thank you, navigators. It's yet another Thursday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Guys, we appreciate you joining in, taking time to listen to us as we navigate. Thank you for joining, whether you're joining from home, on the road, in the office, in a taxi, or in the comfort of your bed. Thank you. Or thank you so much for taking time to help us navigate.
Right? Thank you so much, guys. It takes a village to raise a dream. We do want to say we do appreciate a lot how much you guys have journeyed with us. We did just reach a milestone.
Oh, yes.
Right?
A few weeks
ago, where we realized it's been a year since we started. It has not been a perfect journey, but it has been such an enlightening journey where we've learned so much. As you know, we never lie to say we've been in this space forever, but we're here. And thank you so much for embracing us as newbies in the space. And for this moment and for today's topic, may we all take a pause as I call on all our ladies and gents to come forth. Let's have this conversation. Today is not just about us. It's not about our opinions only. It's our opinions in the context of your stories. We are here to launch something new. It is called Dear Us. And every week we come. And we come here, we talk navigating life with Viwe. We talk different issues. We talk money, we talk boundaries, we talk everything. But this time, it is us in the context of us and our life stories. And that includes you, navigator. And Noluntu, what do you have to tell our viewers about the Dear Us desk that we've just launched on Navigating Life with Your Girl?
I think before we talk about the desk, can we go pop, 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 pop? Okay. South Africa.
And the world.
South Africa and the world. We've reached a milestone and we are so thankful that you guys tune in. And the reason we're doing this is because you tune in, you give us the feedback that is necessary.
Absolutely.
And we then came to a point of deciding that because we are navigating life, and it's not just about Viwe's life, my witch's life, Brian's life, and everyone who's sat in the couch to speak about their personal experiences. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
We want to hear from the people that take time to tune in. So one of the things we're doing is to give away this Huawei watch GT3. Guys, okay, so must 13.
Yeah. I love it. Let's come together for the purposes of talking.
If you get to a certain stage, if you're like, Mwah, okay, you're not the gym person, you're not the runner, you're not the... unlike her, right? Okay, so this watch will help you do that. I mean, let AI work for you.
We love AI, right? Don't we?
We love, guys, AI made
I
life
love
easy.
AI.
Let it work for you. Monitors, I mean, it does the standard. Monitors your heart rate, monitors, and it reminds you. It even goes to remind you, you know, you've forgotten, you need to do your 1 kilometer. So we are giving this watch away.
Hear that?
To one, we wish you had more, to one viewer.
Nivelemos.
And all we require is you like, you subscribe,
easy,
you share,
easy,
and then you can DM us or you can write to us on our WhatsApp number. Just share us your story. You can be anonymous. If you want to leave your name like the others that have, you can. But if you want to remain anonymous, you can be anonymous. Remember, this podcast is about navigating life. It's not my life, it's not Viwe's life, it's everyone's lives. There's a lot in common we have, and hence we are navigating. Thank you.
I love that. We respect the fact that you guys might have questions and sometimes you have stories to share. And we are here for the purposes of growing together, from learning, for the purpose of learning from each other. So we want to create this space deliberately for you guys to write in so that you're heard, your voice matters. And that we work from a point of real stories, honestly, where we are just not reflecting from Viwe's life or Noluntu's life, where we also get into understand what's happening. We're navigators, so do write to us. The details are really here. Email us, or you may send us a WhatsApp. And if you're struggling maybe with a friendship, with a career, with money, with dating, let's come together, guys. Let's come together for the purposes of growing. Now, moving on.
I'm excited.
I know, because we first shared this thing with particular people that are followers, and we said we want to launch it, and and they were excited to learn. And we have received communication already, which we're very excited to deal with. Where they've said, look, you know what, I wish Navigating Life with Viwe would deal with this or with that. And we were so excited to actually receive. So as a preamble, we haven't interrogated, nor interviewed the people that have written to us. We've just dealt with data as it was sent to us. So if there are questions that arise, they are arising for all of us. We haven't really, maybe you guys can even suggest if maybe after a story is sent, maybe it's something we can work on. Do we then meet the people to understand the story deeper? But even with that said, let's get on with today's show. Let's get on with what have we received?
Okay, so I'll go first. For our reader, navigators. Okay, dear us. So remember, our show today is Dear Us. So our first reader's letter says, I'm a 42 female from East London.
Chisa,
My kids are
Kugompo
healthy.
City, ne?
Guys, Kugompo City.
Kugompo.
Kugompo.
Tell us what Kugompo lady is saying.
Okay.
I love Kugompo ladies though, hey?
So,
Aren't they just?
They
but
are.
anyway, that's my personal bias. I'm from the Eastern Cape.
Cape. Beautiful place.
Talk to me.
All right. So the lady then says, I have a decent job.
Okay. Tick.
My kids are healthy.
Tick.
I am not struggling.
Yeah.
She's not struggling.
Okay.
So
Whatever that
financially,
means.
grand.
But can we call things what they are, guys? Nias confuse. I'm not struggling. Can we say I'm actually making it? Why are we using half words? But anyway, continue. My bad.
But sis, I feel behind.
How old is she again?
She's 42. Let's wait. Let's read her note. I scroll on Facebook and Instagram and see my classmates and friends buying their second houses, getting married again, better this time, or moving to Cape Town with a sea view. Me, I am trying to pay off my second car and remember to drink water. I thought 42 would feel settled, confident, like a proper audit. Instead, I feel like a 22, but with back pain and more bills. Did I miss it? Was there a train I was supposed to catch and I was sleeping? Setu 42.
Yo, sethu mntazekaya kwaze kwakuningi. You know what? I feel like I could only just maybe identify with what's most significant kule poska sethu. I have just always just been such a late bloomer. I've been a late bloomer in my love life. I've been a late bloomer in my career. Late bloomer, guys, is not for the lack of trying, by the way. It's not that
it's definitely not.
You're at work and you're like, okay, I want to slow down. But with the benefit of age and time, you realize, actually, into zam zizekades, right? And I get it. For somebody who's 42, it even goes beyond my delays, I feel like I got to 42, something started making sense. And I think for me, what then becomes important for her to understand, firstly, is that we are not on any universal timeline, and God does not operate. And without even making too spiritual, if it wasn't for my personal circumstances, I would maybe say, yo, I know but I know that feeling of feeling forgotten. But I also know how useless it is when everything starts working out. But here's the thing, it does not help, in my own opinion, for you to start comparing your life to any other person. I don't think it assists your own growth. It doesn't benefit you in any way. In actual fact, it shifts your focus from what I think you should be focusing on, which is your journey, basically. The minute you take time to look at Noluntu, you must know you filled your own agenda, because you've sort of done something which I think any human, when we are sober and in our minds, we know we do not compare ourselves. And I'm sure that's a lesson we'd want for our kids as well, that don't compare. But what comes out for you?
But I also think Usethu's made it. But Usethu, her kids are fine. Her finances are okay. She's not struggling. She's
okay.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah.
And I think and many of us do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And social media
is
like
the
diesel
piece.
To fire that's
no,
going
but
on.
In terms of emotional and whatever, like social media is the pits.
No, it is.
If you're not emotionally developed and if you're not mature enough and if you don't know what you're here for and if you haven't figured out your own journey, it's the pits. Getting there needs like some license, I'm sure.
Figured out your own journey.
Hey, say that again.
You said it so beautifully. Figured out your own journey. So for me, I feel Usethu hasn't figured it out. Usethu has what... I mean, the question she's asking, if she's missed it, she's 42. Guys, I can guarantee you now, there's a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old, a 70-year-old who's looking back and asking themselves this question. I think this is just a universal question that we ask ourselves. That, have we missed something? Have we missed something? Have we missed something? Why? Abanye abantu bayakwazi ba. I mean, abanye abantu, they own private jets. Abanye abantu own a string of businesses. Abanye abantu have this life that's charmed. But sometimes it's not always what we see. That's true.
And I think nothing settles it better than knowing the journey you're on.
Yes.
I think for me, it always comes back to that, because figuring out how other people are doing it, figuring out why is Noluntu going on 10 holidays and not I, is you trying to figure out something that you can never really honestly.
And maybe Noluntu, guys, is going on the 10 holidays more than you because she is so unhappy in her life.
And
she is trying to figure out, and she looks at your life and thinks, you've figured it out. She hasn't figured it out. And I think we need to be, and this is what I want to say to you, Sethu. You give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. You are at the age you're in, and you think you've missed a lot because people are in their third mortgage bonds. They're buying luxury cars. They're having all of this, and you're where you are. Give yourself grace. Your journey is starting, or you are in your journey. You are in your way. Maybe your yacht comes at 60. You're 40.
Or it never comes.
Or it never comes. But instead of it never coming, something else more joyous. And I think we need to look at life
from what we have already.
And start saying, okay, this is what I have. And you find what you have. Another person is praying for it.
Amen. And you know what? To actually add to what you're saying, I'm a firm believer on the continuity of life. So way beyond our lives here. So what one would maybe regard as reincarnation. And maybe for me, what I believe in is that the project of life never gets to a point where it's complete. Okay. You can want to raise your kids to a point where you're saying, I want to make sure I leave everything ready for them. But that takes a lot to be received in the same manner you intended. A lot of families have witnessed riches getting wiped away, that were labored upon extensively by those who intended well on their descendants. But those projects become disrupted because different lessons are intended on your descendants as well, which is maybe for some, it's to learn how to move from abundance to lack. So the project of life never gets completed. Your own purpose is your own priority in this life. So you never look at what your neighbor. I'm convinced that it's actually a point of weakness where one compares their journey to somebody else. And reincarnation also, that I believe in, speaks to how some of us have been here more times than the others, which creates an imbalance and makes competition impossible. How do you compete if that were the truth? If reincarnation is the ultimate truth, how do you compete with somebody who's been here 10 times and it's your second time here? And I think if anything
10 times here and remembering.
10 times here remembering, yes.
Because 10 times here not remembering
is also another problem.
Yeah.
But 10 times here remembering is now competing.
But Viwe, there's something as not just navigators, guys, as the human race, right?
Yeah.
That we tend to downplay. We tend to think.
How do you mean?
No, it's the intuition.
How do you? Oh, that. Oh.
Because it is never wrong. It is a small
I don't
voice.
really think.
It's a small voice that doesn't fight with you, that tells you,
do you know what
and
I think
gives you free
intuition-
will to listen and not listen to it.
Do you know what I think makes us confused about what intuition should be to us? Which for me personally, I've come to understand is my personal GPS from God. If something doesn't settle well, you know, I still pray that I follow the intuition more than I do. And I don't, I'm not yet there, but I'm very aware of its purpose to me. So if we were all to understand why Manuel GPS, Veronica from God was saying, naman, kaku 10 left up, 10 left here. Even if it's for no reason, abandon the situation. Choose peace over this relationship. Just leave it without fighting. You know, a lot of things that come to you
that we hold on to.
You know what I mean? I feel like maybe summarily my response to the 42-year-old is that your answers are honestly within you. We can try and assist you, but I think the biggest advice, if you were to heed it, would be to follow the voice inside you. I think that's the direction I would naturally want to give you. I've literally had to go against many advices that were given to me, especially in my adult life. And I've had to heed the voice that was inside me. And a case in point, and from philosophical, when I lost after effect of my divorce, my previous boss would have advanced my previous post to me, which I'm still grateful for. Maybe suggesting that I come back to work. Because I'd been out of work, I'd gone entrepreneurial, and when he imagined all these issues that I might be dealing with, one of the things were maybe you should come back to work and so on. And the internal voice with me, not with any sort of disdain or rejection to what he was saying, had to be, what are you willing to go for? Sana matyala nawo engazulunga kulaa xesha laa mna ndandiswima kwi-Nile River. Jonga yayindifakile la situation la love situation ndandikuyo yomtshato sana, it did me proper.
There is none that I know.
So my rejection of all of that came from an honesty in me and a voice in me that said, do you maybe want to do this, it's safe, or do you want to go swim with the sharks and maybe try and make it work? So I think for me, what this all boils down to is me trying to intend to magnify the importance of your intuition as a human. So even as that person who feels stuck, I don't really think you're stuck. You're stuck when you compare yourself to other people. Yeah. You're stuck when you imagine your life in the lens of somebody else. But given where you are, if you were to sit honestly, I don't think you've done too bad. Kids that are healthy.
She hasn't.
No financial. Do you know how people struggle financially?
She has not.
She's
done pretty well for herself.
Ideas go mashonisa left, right, and center. So I feel like 42-year-old, I know the 40-year-old dream may be oversold. It's not to say when you get to 40, everything is sorted. But when you get to 40, you are more likely to have clarity.
Yes.
So even in your struggle, even in your hard time, I think it's,
so.
Go
Can we agree that, guys, thina abantwana be-70s 80s well 60s 70s noko 60 ke bayiqhelile sebekuyo le ngqushu. Can we just agree that the adulthood is not what we thought it was?
Inzima adulthood.
It is not what
In
we thought
actual
it was.
fact, I think for this moment, we need to pay respect to everything that has been said to date about adulthood. Adulthood is a scam, they've said. Ukukhula ngumgowo. I feel like production can assist us here. You just show us everything that's been said about adulthood, which I feel has been hectic. But what do we do? Because the alternative to non-adulthood is
Ayikho.
death, Galokchum.
No.
No, when people, because you must remember, and this is what I always try and teach my kids, that life doesn't work in vacuums, When you then speak against something else, you must be for something else as well.
Okay.
So if you don't want to adult, you could be, without realizing it, choosing, adult, right? Or I am literally just vilifying this adulting thing and causing more stress on myself because why the heck did I become an adult in the first place? So should we honestly, as I'm sitting here hoping to get to year 82. I said I want to get to year 82.
Yeah,
For some
I
odd
also
reason.
want to see my grandkids and
You know what I
interact
mean?
with my
So
grandchildren.
with such views of wanting to get to a year 82 and me thinking, oh my goodness, adulting is a lot. What kind of father God is going to keep me here?
Guys, no, but let's be honest.
But before we speak truth, but see, I'm imagining, can he keep you here? When every day is a dread for you. Every day is like oh my God, why am I still here? But Anfonofa.
Anfonofa.
But Fonutin.
Pila. But can we just accept sivume guys ba? Hey, go adulting. Hey! There is no
Ziyakhala. Let me read my letter.
Read your letter.
I related to this one.
Okay.
Yo. But to some degree, not entirely.
Okay.
It's from a man, and I'm a woman, so that's what I mean by to some degree. And
thank you, man.
Hello, man. Woke men, guys. Woke men want to engage on such issues. So this man is saying, I am a 30-year-old man. Good job in Johannesburg. We love you for having a good job. I bought a house like my parents paid for. On paper, I made it. You did. Oh. But brah, I'm exhausted. Like in my bones, I am tired. I am the one everybody calls. Mommy's needs, my little brother's needs, my partner's needs. Why ngachatang? I send money home, I pay my bond, I save a little, and at the end of the month, I'm just tired. I haven't taken proper leave in 2 years. My friends are talking about soft life and healing. I want that too. I don't even know how to get it. But how do you rest when you are the plan A, B, and C of your family? Am I ungrateful for feeling like this? Anonymous, 38, Johannesburg. Kwaze wakuningi bandla. Wendoda.
So
I feel like
ask.
I feel like, let me say something. I think when you try and speak to others, you also speak to yourself. I feel like I'm speaking to myself right now. Relate
because I think that's
so
you.
much. It is me.
That's you.
I am. My family's plan A, B, C, D, and E.
So you have to have it figured out.
I have to have it figured out, and exhaustion is literally part of my life. It's part of my life because I'm also in a business where I don't have to focus. You know, when you specialize, when you're like, I deal with legal matters.
Yes.
I deal
I'm just
with
a project
finance
manager. The project must go
matters.
this way. I just deal with it.
I have to cut across everything. My life is everything. I have to imagine value chains from start to end. I have to imagine how things must roll out and everything. And I have to then come home and be like, oh, you're struggling with maths. Let's do maths. And I have to be, hi, we need to show up. And me being the plan A, B, C, D, and F, I have to make sure I show up for my family on my family. Yeah, right. And it's not something that I literally look upon with any type of disrespect and hate. It's a reality, but exhaustion is also an end product to it. Exhaustion where Yeah, you're literally just taking care of everyone.
And no one's taking care of you.
Very few people even think to take care of you. But anyway,
Recently-
but my story is this is not my. This is a 30-year-old man who is like, "Sana, yendi pushing his but I got everything they said I should get."
But it's hitting home as well to you.
It is hitting home. I can relate.
So I came across a social media video.
Okay.
I can see the guy's face, but I forgot him. So he's in an interview and he's talking about hypermasculinity in women.
I'm listening.
Okay. So he's then making this analogy to say, here's a woman who, and I know we're talking about a man here, right? But let's just generalize. Here's somebody who is taking care of the uncles, the parents, the siblings, everyone in the name or the lineage. He is the ABC plan. He is the D and the E and F, right up to Z. He's that guy, right? And, well, there are relationships, but relationships don't really... You asked when, but why does he have a partner?
No. Actually, navigators, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm one for people deciding whether or not they...
No. I wasn't saying it in that way. I liked the fact that if you were asked why doesn't he have a partner, because I mean we would think, okay, he should have a wife. No proper yonke into
like chata buda.
ubra uyapopa.
Makachate kaloku
Okay,
buda.
makachate ngoku. That's what we are expecting,
Yes.
right? Which is we are society. Society is we. Ewe. That's what
Society
Wesa
is
would say.
us.
That's what Wesa would say.
We bring the standards and this is come, but come for.
Okay. So this guy has a partner, because he knows the responsibility he shoulders.
But show me, the problem here is that this guy is dealing with fatigue.
Now he is tired.
What do you suggest he does?
Okay. Wait.
I like
Navigators before what I suggest. Because remember, guys, siya navigate like siyancokola apha ekuba ndimnoviyo, but nani nincokola nathi. And I know many of you are tired. I know many of you are anonymous. You carry your families, you carry your siblings, you carry your colleagues. Guys, you carry an entire clan. And to you, I want to salute. So, right, this guy. Anonymous can never be selfish at any given time. We want Anonymous to be selfish. But his selfishness, guy Anonymous, means what? It means a lot of people that...
But balance me here. We want to hold Anonymous to this standard. But there is also the reality of mentality. What happens to the family that is currently... being held together by this one person? What happens if he dies? Lord forbid.
Extreme.
No, because I'm trying to...
No, why I left? Wait. Why I left? Too extreme. Leave death.
Can I say something?
Let's wait on death. Yet.
No, we can wait on death. But I feel like there is conversations that we should have. The discomfort around death creates, for me, a bit of an unrealistic situation.
Okay.
And I'm saying this knowing that I am a B, C, D, and F plan, for those that are around me, my kids to start with and so on. But I'm saying, how realistic is that? Should we be continuing with that? Should we be designing and coming up with measures of, I see Noluntu, A, B, C, D, and F. As a family, how do we structure ourselves such that even if she's not here, with her help today, but even if she ceases to exist, then what then becomes continuity for the family?
Okay, that needs honest conversations.
Within families,
Within the families. There are people that, such yourselves, like entrepreneurs, they then decide, okay, I'm going to build this, and this is going to be the legacy of everyone. Right?
I love that.
I will build this company. I will work with all the energy I have because this is my retirement plan. But not just a retirement plan, but this is something I will hand over to the next generation who has the energy to run it. and the next and the next and the next. And this is how legacies are born. Right. But the trick in this, we all have to have the same vision. Because that's but that's what continuity is.
I understand, but I'm trying to imagine a family with all the dynamics, sometimes very toxic, that happen in family life. Can you ever unite again? I mean, behind one vision as a family?
So there's always the legacy carrier.
I see. Okay, talk to me, because we must come back now to this. I don't know what the 30-year-old man wants, but he speaks of exhaustion. And I think for me, the most basic response to him would be to say, to maybe ask, do you ever create time for you to do the things that you enjoy?
To add on to your
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we're not talking about big things. We're not talking about this one must not have this. But adding to your cup is the little things that do give joy. And maybe, guys, asibazi abanye abantu bakhula kanjani, you know? Like Anonymous possibly has had parents that have given their all to him. And his younger siblings or whoever else, they've had to take a fraction of what. So everyone's poured. He was like the light of the home. So obviously he's going to feel duty bound to give back. He is going to feel duty bound. But I think what is important for him is to have conversations with his family. To say, guys, I'm not saying I will not carry this family. But at times, at times the ask is too much for me to carry.
I understand, but ngomso unyana lapha e-university ungayithetha yonke le nto uthethayo, need imali ye-registration.
But this is and
unyana kadade
here's the differentiation, give you, because and I mean that's a reality people live with, guys.
I'm trying to
and
draw
this is
you.
where you draw the line yourself, because then it means as long as I am a person like ukuphila kwam apha means mna mandigaya imali.
Yeah.
So if I need imali
Mocha Buddha.
and I'm nothing.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's why you drew the boundaries, and you do, because people that love you, which are your family, supposed to love you as your family, they will love you with or without.
I feel like my discomfort though when Noluntu with what you're saying is that it still requires you to address other people, and I still think for the 38-year-old, they still need to value their relationship with themselves. I haven't had time. Personally, I haven't really turned the corner fully on this one because I still feel exhausted. The responsibility that I find myself with almost felt like at different times in my life, it was just like, oh, okay, now you assume this one, it's your responsibility. So it almost like it was dumped on you at times, you know?
But it's always the case.
But even with that, you know, I've come from a point where I would be so exhausted with running around and making sure that your things are sorted, this child things are sorted, my home, everybody else, and so on. But when the language started to change within myself, you know, about myself, my well-being, and my own interests, however much they cost relative to whatever else is in my life, when that started also taking center stage, I think that's when I gave myself permission to, I'm not saying I'm not exhausted all the time, but I create pockets of time where I leave home, leave the kids, and be like, hey, guys, everything is there, and I just detach from everybody else. But that came with a lot of internal work. I didn't want not to say that to this 30-year-old male, no name, anonymous. But sometimes negotiating externally before you understand yourself and you understand what gives you joy and you take it. You just take it. You don't ask about, oh, guys, is it okay if I switch off in a weekend in a month?
It will never be okay.
No, it will never be okay. You must just say, listen, I am showing up for A, for B, and not C. C ain't mine to show up for. It's the most difficult thing if you assume the response. Because here's the toxic cycle. When you are young and you're eager and you know you're capable, you want to run the race for everyone. But ingxaki is that other people don't get off your back. Bayahlala, then you have to keep running.
Sometimes it's even you have to listen to your body.
I love that.
Your
body has a language.
Guys, you have to listen to your body.
Absolutely.
Yesterday I was supposed to be going to a friend's. I went to the salon. I got stuff done. I I went and, you know, the intention was there. And I set it there and I said, I will leave at 1. The car was washed. I was ready. At 1 o'clock,
You were not done
I was not done.
with your things.
Besides, I was just tired.
And you gave time to rest.
My body was tired.
I love that.
And I went into bed, and literally, I took off umbhaco, I climbed into bed, and I slept, and I knocked off. When I woke up, don't think I wasn't guilty, and I thought, I will sit with my friend and I'll tell my friend
She'll
that.
understand. She'll live.
She'll have to understand.
Or she'll live.
And she will live.
Before you can live for your friends and and I'm not, I'm advocating for selfishness, because I also hate selfish people. You know, selfish people too, unreasonably not hate, say it's a strong word. I don't appreciate people that are selfish in a manner that just, you know, if you are taking responsibility, say, friend, I had to measure between being at your event and not being there, and I chose not to be there. That's taking accountability, which she can choose to take or not, right? But I mean, bendizawuthini.
And I'm okay because kaloku health, we're 40 guys, we're over 40. Health matters.
It should. So 30-year-old, 8-year-old, ndicela give yourself grace and time. You are permitted to live your life according to your rules. You are permitted to show up when you want to show up. You are permitted to retreat to self when you have to retreat to self. The exhaustion problem that you have, luckily, the most important things are out of your way. You've got your property, you've got a job. And what else do you have? I'm not quite sure, but you've got church support and so on, and your kids are quite healthy. Masqhube man, I think we have more to be grateful for than to be sad about. So let's start maybe being intentional and being grateful for what we have, and let's also make space for rest and make space for what interests us and what's speaking to our soul. Okay, we wish you well in your journey, Navigator.
Navigators, we're going to read the third letter. I call this one, My Body Sent Me an Invoice.
Huh? Okay. What?
When I got it, I was like, it's an invoice.
In a title. Okay, let's go.
Okay. So I think she's just talking about a health scare. So it's just putting drama into it. But she says, Dear us, ladies, I am 51. I laughed when people said, your 50s will humble you. Until last month, my doctor said my blood pressure is high. My sugar is borderline, and I need to manage stress. I wanted, oh shame, poor Scapsel. I wanted to laugh. Manage what stress? Life is stress. For 20 years, I put everyone first: work, church, kids, husband, parents. I ate last, slept last, cried in the bathroom so nobody hears. Now my body is forcing me to sit down. I'm trying to walk, say no, sleep early, but I feel guilty. Like I'm not busy, I'm lazy. How did you ladies learn to rest without guilt? Is it too late for me to live?
Never.
Well,
it's not.
I love you both. And Tabileng from Zwane, 51 years.
Thank you, Tabileng. I don't know. Noluntu.
This saddens me.
It just makes me very sad, because I firstly want to say resting is an essential part of life. So I don't feel anybody needs to feel guilty about resting, but I am also guilty of maybe feeling similarly at different points in my life. This year I took a decision that I'm not going to study anything. I'm not going to do anything big. I'm just going to continue with my life, and I'm going to focus on the things that I've eyed, for me to focus on this year. And that was coming from just understanding exhaustion and being tired.
You need to look after yourself. You need to, and this is from personal experience. You matter. You are important. Tabaleng and every navigator that in Tabaleng is speaking on behalf. You are important. So you need to look at factors, and there's a lot of, this is normal for this age, hypertension and diabetes, because let's face it, guys, we live in a very stressful
Don't call it normal.
society.
I don't want to be.
No, it's not normal. I'm far away from saying it's normal. We live
But
in a
it's
very...
something that's common.
It's
rather.
common.
Okay.
So we need to then put ourselves first. Put ourselves, our health is important. So what are you going to do to contribute to your health, being healthier? If it means cut out on certain things for your peace of mind, for your heart's sake, cut them out. It doesn't mean you love people less. You love them, but you are then choosing your own mortality. Your own choosing to preserve your own mortality. Because all the factors that she's mentioning, she's tired, she's working hard, she's the last person to eat.
Wow. Okay. Also, that's disrespect to self.
No,
I feel like I
we
want to
grew up
I want to
in...
speak to it because when I was married, I was exactly like her. I used to concern myself with food, its presentation. Then
I still do that way.
oh wow, and I never used to use a tray to bring myself food. Yeah, I needed divorce because you know what? I suddenly became awoke to Indoba. I am the biggest person in the house besides my kids. If I don't treat myself like that, is that way I'll Google a drawer. Daqala ngoku ndane breakfast with a tray. Praise be.
And it's
Amen.
It's little things.
It's in the smallest things.
It's in the smallest
Why
things.
are you eating late? And I feel like
I
everybody...
used to have a helper.
Yeah.
She could read me as I walk in, right? And she'd be like, Sissy, so when's your breakfast? I'm like, no, it's fine. It's like, no, I'll make you
Proper breakfast.
proper
Sissy.
breakfast. By the way, guys, go 6:30 in Vele Msebenzini. Ndibethwe sezindibethileyo emhlabeni.
Usafuna ufry iqanda?
She was going to make me the breakfast. You have your hello meat. Like, she would know what comforts me.
Oh, wow.
And then she'll bring me chamomile tea
Oh.
with apple cider.
Oh.
And I've mixed it the way you want.
Oh.
Celo rest.
Oh.
You know?
Bless her.
And I always
Bless
say,
her.
as much as she's no longer with us, I used to say to my kids, auntie ke apha uze kum.
Not me.
Uzoya mna.
Uzoncedisana kule nto.
Uzoya mna.
Ungu-asbi
You
wam.
are, by
Without
the
the
way.
benefits.
So we look at, and I just want to say to Ntabi and everyone else that's going through this, you have to be kind to self. Guys, I don't know how many times we've said it in the show. Kind to self is important.
Absolutely.
Because you cannot be kind to the next person. You've got all these responsibilities, everything that's weighing on you that you have to do. And you feel guilty for not doing anything. When it's time for you to rest, you feel guilty.
And I want to maybe say, to add to what you're saying about kindness to self, you know, everybody that you admire and you look up to and you're like, oh my God, I wish my life was like hers. Those are people that have figured out what makes them happy. Those are the people that makes them, that have figured out what it is about them that they appreciate. I know for a fact that, I mean, there's prettier girls, you know, but I know what I stand on. There's much more educated people. I know what I stand on. There's much more woke and much more evolved people, but I know what I stand on. And I walk into rooms knowing what I stand on. So it's not possible for somebody else to be like, you're not, I know what I'm not, and I know what I am, right? So self-understanding and self-appreciation.
It's important, V. It's really, really important because you will find sometimes we're not exhausted by the work we have to do. We are exhausted by the in-between.
Oh, really?
The in-between is the expectations.
Oh, Ezando. You know what? And I want to say something that's actually silly. I came across a clip on social media, and it was saying, get married, divorce, and get it over and done with. Because once you've married and divorced, nobody carries any expectations for you anymore. We're like delinquent, lamdo failileyo in society. And most people have found the most joy when they didn't have to compete with what society expects of them. If, for example, today I sat here and as having been unmarried before, surely bizawutsho pressure sana ndileqa ku-50 ndiyayifuna ikhetshe miya yalaa
But then it's the unknown. It's the expectations of the unknown, because kule nto ithethayo uba get married, divorce, and there'll be no expectations. Most of those expectations, we magnitude them.
No, I
Our
get we
minds
do.
magnitude
I get that we do. But it was for me, for them, which I could understand because it's not my post that I came across, was like, actually, this is what my life has been like. I feel like everybody that I had to live up to, everybody that saw me in a perfect light, when I suddenly divorced, I fell off that ladder so loud that nobody cared what I did next. So ngoko, I might be in a serious relationship, but even in my family, no one is asking, are you getting married again? Because they're like, they're interested in other people. Ngoko, utshata abanye abantu, mna ndila, life iyaqhubeka. And I think for me, it's where I've had to, taste the purest nectar of just living organically without having to live up to. I mean, I'm not saying I'm totally independent of living up to people's expectations. But no elements of my life where I'm like, we kuthiwa ngulo wabuya emendweni hayi ke wawenza i-divorce party kwayena nje apha kwalapha efamilini asikamqondi like siyambona nje into yoba uyasurvive, she's managing, she's doing okay for herself, but there's a big question mark because ayina uzawuphinda fail like it's ulindwe into yoba nale sicinga uyibambile khona apha azayiphuncula khona because kwayena. But I feel like that's the most beautiful space to exist in because akho mntu ulindele nto.
It really is.
Right?
Right? No, it really is, because then also Viwe, the pressure you have, yo guys, kuthiwa uneetshomi zakho zingabazalwane and woyisiwe.
Wena utheni?
And woyisiwe kaloku wena ngumtshato nowudivosile. Uya kutshomi zakho ke ngoku. Ingathi wena hayi awuthandazanga enough.
In fact, answers. Zoba, you shouldn't have left.
You should have prayed harder. You should have fasted harder.
I still wish I would have divorced like 5 years into. I divorced like 11 years after. I divorced 5 years. Okay, maybe this is not podcast appropriate. But I feel like I would have done the most with my life with less the expectation of being a perfect human.
Let's be honest. A divorce is nothing nice. It's a monster.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. It's a monster on its own. But it has the liberty or the liberation it gives you to become true and honest to who you are. And therefore, you start looking at what do you like, what do you love, who are you? You start redefining yourself and redefining yourself positively.
Absolutely.
Yes. You start redefining yourself positively. You start even the whole thing of giving yourself grace, giving yourself rest days, giving yourself time, not focusing too much on the guilt. The guilt is always there. You are able to like, okay, fine, that's fine. Let's go ahead. What else?
I love it.
So for me, if anything, I would, going back to Ntabi, because guys were navigating, going back to Ntabi, I would then say, Ntabi, give yourself grace.
Grace. I want to add to that, to tell Ntabi that Ntabi, you only have one shot. I want you to...
I can't repeat it.
Life,
guys.
And I want to say to Ntabi, when you take your plate last, are you honestly asserting yourself as the queen that we want you to believe you are, that we know you to be? Are you honestly taking your rightful position in society? Are you too apologetic for what is inside you? The greatness that God placed inside you, are you too afraid to face it? Maybe that's what's holding you back, and that's what's causing the exhaustion. And I'm going to relate.
And maybe she's thinking that's humility.
Because
that's another thing that we need to also
playing small does not serve nobody.
What is humility? I was about to say.
Playing small does not serve nobody important and worth serving.
Yes.
So nobody is served, not your descendants, not those that prepared this world for you. Nobody, even the person that you are just perpetuating whatever is going on with them, whether they're narcissists or whether they are just using you because you avail yourself, but playing small and not standing on business about who you are does not help the world.
Does not serve
The
it.
world needs women that know what they are about, and that's the chapter we're on. Instead, in case you are still behind, sunshine, we are going to move on to our next letter, which I'll be reading. It is our last letter. It is the fourth one, right?
Okay.
Yo, I am single and I am 35. Tiza, and I'm starting over. I was 38 when I was starting over. I ended my engagement. I ended a marriage. No kids. Oh, well, I didn't end my... Why am I even featuring myself here?
Skope.
Let's get back to the story. Dear us, I am 35 and I'm a female. I ended my engagement last year. There were no kids yet. I moved back home to save money. Everyone says I'm brave, but honestly, I feel embarrassed. I thought I'd be married with my own kitchen and maybe a baby on my hip by now. My mom doesn't say it, but I can see the worry in her eyes. I'm trying to redefine what a good life looks like for me, not what we were told. Maybe success is peace in this house. Maybe it's my small business that actually makes me happy. I don't know. How do I grieve the life you thought you'd have and still enjoy the one you have? Ooh, for this show. Hi guys. Yes, I'm higher grade question. How do I grieve?
The life I... No, wait.
It says, how do you grieve the life
No,
you
wait.
thought you'd have and still enjoy the one that you have?
Remember, she was engaged.
I will actually have a story to relate.
She was engaged.
No, I was married, even bigger. Okay. We'll come back to her. Linda, 35-year-old, we're going to come back to you.
Thank you, Linda, for writing to us.
So I was married. I want to relate and I want to put context for you so that we flow together. And you guys, why in the rain is doors? I want to
because now okay, I must kube.
But I'm going for context.
That's what I said.
Past tense. When they go, but I feel like it's anyway. To go is part of life, whatever. But we don't say yes to it. But anyway, 38 left marriage.
Okay.
Whatever the circumstances were, I had 2 kids. I had moved out to save money. I was embarrassed because the whole thing was just too public for my personality at the time. I then transitioned healthily. I would say healthily because I was so strict around how I managed my emotions at the time. When a psychologist, when I knew that I had the support that I needed, my dad and everyone. And then I transitioned into such a perfectly happy life. Guys, my single life, that transition life, magical. But I'm just trying to create context for you. That it became like the most happiest part of my life that I could have lived. And for somebody who was supposed to be grieving a life that she should have had, it was maybe a bit of a surprise. How are you happy?
But wait.
When you're supposed to be sad.
But here's the difference between you and Linda.
Okay.
You actually got Linda's dream. You walked down the aisle.
Okay. Okay, it wasn't our perfect.
Wait.
It wasn't my perfect wedding.
Wait,
Like I
that's
still
fine.
wanna.
No one is talking about perfection here. You went down the aisle, right? Okay. You had kids.
Okay. I understand you.
Right?
I understand you.
You could cook for your family in the morning in the kitchen. You could, and there's navigators, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Linda's dreams.
Yeah.
But now Linda, because she was braver than most of us.
I actually want to say to Linda, whether I got to the point where I had the husband at home, whether I got to the point where I had the kids at home, our attention is always called to the parts of our lives that we need to work at. So it's not about how far I went that makes my journey better than her. It's definitely not. The lessons that were pegged for me, required for me to run that race. Okay. And the lessons that are pegged for Olinda, required for her to go just as far as engagement. You would almost not believe how much I tried to healthily get out of my marriage contract whilst in the marriage with him, agreeing to it so that I could re-engineer, so that I could come back to a point where I was just engaged, where we could define our lives differently. And it didn't happen because there was just a lot with being in the marriage itself. So what I'm trying to say is that there's no better position. There is no better position with going the whole way, being married 11 years, or being engaged. Our lessons are just packaged differently. As I need in-laws. That's how stubborn I needed to be hit hard by facts and information that's verifiable for me to return to self. Abanye abantu are forced to return to self before they engage further and so on. And there's nothing wrong.
I think
better.
coming home is the most humbling
Yeah.
experience.
But it's beautiful.
It's the most humbling, but it's also where you
Learn a
gain
lot.
strength. That is where you recharge.
Absolutely.
That is where you find that you are loved
Chisa.
with no expectation, just your existence at home, just your mere existence, And so for me, I think Linda was brave.
I love Linda.
Linda saw the red flags and ended it. Some of us,
Guys, I know they are
everywhere I
navigators.
saw the red flags and I went in.
I stayed with red
As
flags.
I'm in neon. They were like, beep-bop, beep-bop, beep-bop.
Zingcono zakho zazinayo-sound ezam zozilight up ebhedini ngondileleyo ndibe-elevated but ngonba I'm drunk in my problems because kuthiwe emzini akululanga
No, it's not.
kutshiwo but thina
Look, I think we must remember, navigators, I think anyone that was born in the 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s, we've all had this gospel from our parents. And they had the gospel from their parents, and their parents had the gospel from their parents. So this entire gospel that I'm about to spew now, it has been generational, where you are told, emzini, akumandanga kuyanyanyezelwa. And where we come from, eTranskei, there's even a game that's played. Eti hlala phansi wakumzilo, hlala phansi wakumzilo, hlala phansi wakumzilo. It means you keep quiet. Yes, it means so the nightmares that you face in marriage are not told. A kitchen party, no one is.
kodwa ndiyawabawela amabhaso andinawukhangela umntu onondenza hayi ndiyadlala back at you just had to say like imagine la mabhaso
So I'm going back to Linda. Linda, you have been absolutely brave. You have done what most of us
I've said
have
this
not
to
done.
another friend that said, Viwe, I was at the verge of getting married twice in my life. And it was two incredible men at different times in my life where they were like, will you marry me? And I still said no. Yay, I respected this woman for her insight. When she said that the first time, I was like, I wish I had your mind. But clearly your journey wasn't mine. Because now the first guy that asked, I said, yes. Did I ever interrogate? The same way men do. Men don't marry anyone. Men will be like,
No.
this one, tick, 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 tick. Yes,
was
because
excited.
days of our lives, no bold.
I was in love.
I felt like days, no bold, ringa. I was like, oh, he asked. And he asked on the 31st of December. I was like, oh, he asked. Guys, I'm getting married. We hope that 18-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 24-year-olds.
I'm more mature.
You understand that, Sana, it doesn't matter how glamorous the engagement or the wedding is. There's life afterwards. And many of you, our young ones, have been products of our divorces because, and generation here, story for another day. But we are going to be closing. We have read 4 letters. And what do you have to say from their Dear Us table?
Dear us, it's okay. We human, we will struggle with certain aspects. We will progressively succeed in certain aspects. But I feel, and I still believe that what is important is that you are true to yourself. You are always and constantly true to who you are.
Love it.
Because when you're true to who you are, you then give permission to the people around you
To love you right.
to love you right,
Women.
to love you, to love the who you are and not the performative who
Absolutely.
you are. It is exhausted, guys, in any age. It's exhausting to be over 40. You deal with realities that, in your 20s you never imagined. And sometimes they're not even your realities, Viwe. They're realities of isister yakho xa ifika ikubalisela with a huge problem. Abantwana bayakhutshwa esikolweni. I don't know what to do. And they cry. And those are realities that we're faced with.
I understand. I mean, that's our reality. And
Yes, that's reality.
That's what we live with.
It's a reality where you're faced with the favorite, like a person who we would say is close like a father to you.
Yeah.
They're facing their own mortality, right? And every day you are living in fear, and every day you're like, give me time, Lord, with this person, because I want to do something that's going to make this person,
I know.
It's things like that. It's things like getting that bill that says, despite what you're doing, despite your best efforts, you're not getting out of debt. These are the realities, and all I can advise is stay true to the course, stay true to who you are. And when you are in tuned to who you are, the universe, if you believe in the universe, abantu abadala, if you believe in abantu abadala, and if you're like me, you believe in God, He will light the way.
I love that.
Navigators, as we end the show, we would like you to send us a WhatsApp. The number's below. You can send us in any of our socials your story. I mean, we are not unique. And if we are to do this thing called life, we have to do it as a collective effort.
Absolutely.
And if we can reach you in your living room, in your office, at home, at work, on your way home, you can help somebody, even if it's one person that your story touches and changes and that they can relate to and gives them hope, then we would have done our job and of what we're called to do. So we are really asking you that to please, we would like to hear from you. We need you to subscribe. We need you to like. And please DM us or send us a WhatsApp. You can be anonymous and we will keep it anonymous. We just want to hear from you. You've been watching a show with us. You've been following us. We would like to hear you. And thank you to the people that actually were brave enough to respond to our statuses, our WhatsApp statuses, and shared with that number the stories. Thank you. You still get to win.
As Noluntu has beautifully summarized it, that Dear Us is for all of us. It is for everybody. You, navigator, we are waiting for your story, for your version of what your life is, for your truth, for your challenges, for your wins, for everything. Share with us. From your story, somebody else might grow, and we are here for the purposes of growing together. Yes. We have gone through 4 interesting letters from our viewers, and all 4 of them we've tried. I mean, we haven't concluded on anything, and you guys might expand. Do not be afraid to go on our comment section and add on any of the 4 letters that we've sort of suggested ways to deal with the issues. Your view matters. Come here, let's talk. And thank you so much for supporting us. We will be back here for yet another episode next week. Do join us. It is a wrap.